Hi, my name is Mairi, and I have considered making this video for a few years, and I didn't because I was nervous to record myself and post it. But I'm at the point where, why not? So this is a story time, kind of, but also kind of a plea for help from the TikTok fam about my dad and Beyonce. Yes, that Beyonce. So my dad was Beyonce's stage manager and production manager for over 20 years. You can look him up. His name is Mairi Cooley. And this is him. This is also him. This is back in 2013. This is a meme that went viral on TikTok, on Twitter a long time ago of him. And this is him. And this is actually, I'll link it in the bottom. This is actually a short film that Beyonce had her team make. It's about 2.5 minutes. I encourage you guys to go watch it. It'll really substantiate what I'm about to say. But it was about the work. It's called Mrs. Carter Go for Terry. And it's about the work that my dad did with her and did for over 2 decades. And this is my dad. And this is me and my brothers and my mom. And this was at my graduation. And so that's my family. So here it goes. My dad worked for Beyonce, again, for a really long time. And throughout those years, he was, the stage production manager. And for those of you who don't know what that position entails, it's everything. She is known for putting on some of the most elaborate, amazing, beautiful tours, concerts ever, and my dad was at the heart of them. There's usually a couple different stage and production managers, one that designs the stage and controls the design of the stage, and then one who oversees the creation of the stage and the actual show, putting on the show, piecing everything together. And that is my dad. He is the heart and soul behind the Beyonce that you guys know, behind the performances and the shows put on by the Beyonce that you all know. So around a couple of years before COVID, maybe a year before COVID, my dad, who also tours with other people, whenever Beyonce's not on tour, he's toured with many, many other people. And so at the time, he was doing I believe a residency with Mariah Carey in Las Vegas. And there was an incident where, it's kind of complicated, but essentially he collapsed and he was having some issues with his neck, some impinged nerves. They had to take him to the hospital. He had to be taken off the residency. He came home. He ended up having to get surgery. It was a pretty big deal. But the I guess diagnosis was essentially that my dad was overworked. And that's not by any fault particularly of Beyonce or anybody else. My dad's just a really hard worker. And going back, if you go watch this video, it will exemplify that. My dad worked, 22-hour days when he was on tour, and he'd be on tour for months at a time, traveling the world. So you go from airplane to tour bus to working 24-hour days, setting up, starting, closing down a show, sleeping for 3 hours, and then doing it in another city the next day. So my dad worked his ass off my entire life. And as a result, he ended up having some very extensive and severe physical trauma. So he ended up getting treated. He got his surgery, and then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, there were no tours. And my dad got paid on a as work basis. So when there's no tours, there's no money. And so during those couple of years during COVID where there were no tours to be had, my dad had to use his savings to pay all my family's bills. And that ran out. And so the house that my parents built when I was little and that I grew up in, my parents had to sell it because they didn't have any money. And so they sold their house and moved into my grandmother's house. And then less than a year later, the Hurricane Helene hit and my grandmother's house flooded. And it flooded about 5 feet. and my parents were displaced. My grandmother went and moved into my aunt's house, and my parents, by the grace of God, literally, and our church and the connections in our small town, were able to move into a home owned by this man from our community who's been so kind to let them stay there for over a year, during which time my dad has done everything he can to fix the house, but financially it's just they're at a stopping point and they can't get back into their home. But nevertheless, going back into how this is relevant to Beyonce, my dad spent a few years during COVID rehabilitating, and he never fully got back to the physical ability level that he was at before his incident, but nevertheless, he rehabilitated himself extensively, and he was elated when he got a job opportunity to go with Beyonce to a hotel opening, if I'm remembering correctly, in Dubai. And so, this was a big deal. This was the first time my dad had gone back out into the field since his injury. He was excited. He missed his work. He needed the money, right? So he goes out to Dubai, and I can't remember exactly how long he was out there for, but essentially he got fired because of his physical state. The team that was working for Beyonce at the time, and mind you, again, my dad has been not only on Beyonce's team, but one of the head people in Beyonce's team for 20 plus years since he was working with since she was in Destiny's Child. They decided that he just wasn't keeping up enough because he couldn't walk fast enough and he couldn't move quickly enough, even though, there are plenty of positions that they could have given him where he could sit behind a desk and help design the stage, or, have fewer, maybe not be expected to work 24 hours straight, right? But rather than make accommodations, they made the determination to let him go. So long story short, here we are today in 2026, and my dad has been out of work for a few years, and they being my mom and dad, have hit a financial wall that my brothers and I can only help so much with, because this is the American economy, right? We have to take care of a million things, and I worry about my dad because he put his heart and his soul into Beyonce's career and other celebrities too, but primarily her. And they cut him loose and fired him after 20-something years of service, after he gave his health and his body to helping her succeed. And without so much as a livable or a substantial severance. So where we're at now is that my dad is suffering financially, and he's suffering emotionally because he was basically, my boyfriend compared it to Cam Newton the other night, if you're a football fan, but, those who know that, I guess Cam Newton said once that he knows in his mind that he's done playing football, but he doesn't know in his heart. And that's my dad. Sorry. So anyway, I'll make this short. My dad has given his all to his career, and the fact that it was cut short is really painful to him. And so that, plus the fact that financially it has crippled him, has put him in a terrible place that I never want to see someone that I love, let alone my dad, who I look up to and is the light of my life. So if you could go watch the video, that'd be great. And if you could tag Beyonce and ask her to make things right with my dad, and maybe apologize for disregarding the career that they had, that would be great. I don't know. And if you have anything nice to say that I could pass along to him, that would be great, because he deserves it. And that's it. Thanks for watching.
Start an OnlyFans. Secret password to say in the comment section and let me know you made it till the end of the video is, if you think this young lady should start an OnlyFans to help her father, say OnlyFans. If you think that she should do something else, then say what below you think she should do. She's cute. She's a red bone. I think she's going to make some money if she listens to me. You better shake a little leg for daddy. I'm trying to tell you, if she starts an OnlyFans off of this publicity that she's getting, oh, she's going to get all the money she needs to help her daddy out. All right. That's just my personal opinion. Now, I might be wrong and you might be right. So if you think something else, please let me know below. But make sure you click thumbs up and click hype. That way more people see this video. Click thumbs up, click hype. Make sure you subscribe and choose all notifications for more. And what would you do if you were in her situation? How would you handle it? You think that, OnlyFans is the way to go the way that I do? Or do you think that she should just go all the way straight XXX like Montana Fishburne? You could be the next Roxy Reynolds, but you up here playing around on TikTok trying to raise funds. A GoFundMe is slow money. A come F me is fast money, heifer. So go ahead and spread them cheeks. I'm trying to tell you she ain't doing OnlyFans. Listen, y'all. Listen, all jokes aside, I need to know what everybody's opinion is because I'm sure you have better advice than I do. Of course, I'm going to say the wrong thing because that's what the Illuminati tells me to do. And I'm not trying to distract from the fact that this has very Illuminati-ish undertones. I'm not saying that this gorgeous young lady is saying that Beyonce is an Illuminatus. I'm just saying that it has Illuminati undertones to it. It's making Beyonce sound like as if she drinks blood, allegedly. I'm not saying she does. I'm just saying that the way it sounds when you word it this way, like, yeah, heifer, give me some money. It makes it sound like as if she's this terrible person. Do you agree with that? I need to know y'all's opinion is below. But anyways, guys, listen, I have to be careful because I'm in the Illuminati with Beyonce and I don't want to be like at a meeting or anything. And then she throws a shoe at me or some water on me, like it's an episode of Love and Hip Hop. So I have to be careful. Okay. Because I have to see her in person when we all turn into bats at midnight. But anyways, guys, who's more sarcastic, me or Vlad TV? Anyways, make sure y'all click thumbs up, subscribe, click the hype button, choose all notifications. That way you know when new videos get posted. Let's talk about it below. Jesse Jackson just died, guys. Jesse Jackson, the guy who came with the stupid term African American. What in the world is that? Anyways, y'all, let's talk about it below. Make sure you click thumbs up.